lost all ambition or worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love, and with your admission that you feel the same.
What is going on, guys? It's Gamer18 here. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Black Ops 6 as it came out last month on the 25th of October, and 2 weeks ago we had the launch of Season 1, so I think we've had enough time to pretty much get thoughts together as to, whether or not you should either steer clear of this game or whether you should buy it. And if you want my honest opinion, I think it's going to be a bit hit and miss. Like, you could buy it, but then you couldn't, and because honestly, it's kind of rough, the game at the moment. There's a lot of good things about Black Ops 6, but there's a lot of negatives about it, which I'm just gonna break down before I give you my overall opinion as to whether or not you should actually buy the game. Which I'm gonna just start off by listing some of the positives in the game. Firstly, the campaign I think is pretty solid. The story revolves around this paramilitary organization infiltrating the CIA, labeling both Adler and the protagonist and Woods as a bunch of traitors. There's this chemical attack plot thing. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I haven't really followed the campaign that exclusively, but the level design, the set pieces, I think are pretty good. And for the most part, a lot of the campaigns over the last couple of years, apart from MW3 and maybe Vanguard a push, which have been obviously terrible, most of the campaigns have actually been pretty solid. And when you look at how solid the Cold War campaign was, Black Ops 6 I think certainly delivered in that aspect. Zombies, I think is a nice return to form. The Liberty Falls map I think is a solid map, and the round-based zombies is a welcome breath of familiarity, because to me the open world aspect of zombies just wasn't really working, and I think to see the round-based approach I think is definitely a good thing. Even though I'm not exactly a zombies player, I'm obviously more multiplayer, but round-based zombies I think is just fun because you can just see how many rounds of zombies you can actually survive before you get absolutely dunked on by a fucking massive zombie that's going to eat your brains out, which admittedly I'm pretty shit at zombies, so don't take my word for it. When it comes to opinion on zombies, I'd probably literally get killed within like 10 rounds or some crazy shit. But, zombies I think is pretty solid. I wouldn't even have a clue what's going on with the zombies narrative because I don't follow it. But, zombies is pretty solid. And then in the multiplayer side of things, one of the great things about Black Ops 6 has been the return of Classic Prestige, which I think it's safe to say that we've all been begging for ever since Modern Warfare decided to give us seasonal fucking prestige. Like, who came up with that shit? Seriously, who thought it would be a good idea to have it so that we would reach max rank in terms of from level 1 all the way to level 55, and then we would have to wait to get to the next max level with their seasonal prestige rankings or whatever you wanted to call it. I don't know what it was. It was a stupid idea. We never should have had it. So to see Classic Prestige back is just great. We've got Prestige 1 all the way through to 10th Prestige, and then we have got Master Prestige up to level 1000, which is just, how it should have been from day one with the, the Modern Warfare SBMM era of COD, as I like to call it now. This is the SBMM era of COD. Classic Prestige should have stayed, and I just hope it actually stays permanently and we don't get seasonal Prestige ever again. Like, don't ever bring back seasonal Prestige, Activision. Keep Classic Prestige. Treyarch, you did a good job there. In terms of the camo grind as well, camo for the grind for Dark Matter I think is also pretty good. Challenges are challenging enough, but not too overtly ridiculous, unlike, say, MW2, MW 2019, which was just ridiculous. I mean, who the fuck thought it would be a good idea to have a challenge where you'd have to get, like, 50 kills mounted on a fucking door, other than Joe Secart? I mean, seriously. Granted, the challenges are a lot more challenging compared to, say, the Interstellar grind from the Sledgehammer days, so there's a little bit more challenge to it. You get your bog standard 100 headshots, and then you've got to do your weapon specialty camos to get your specialist camos, and then gold, diamond, dark spawn, and then dark matter, which will be a decent enough grind apart from probably the rocket launchers, which are probably going to take the piss anyway, but hey up. Anyway, in terms of that, that they did a pretty good job. And then the guns feel really good to use as well. And the Omni movement, I think the Omni movement is just a godsend. It literally takes how good the movement system was with Modern Warfare 3, how Sledgehammer improved it, made it a lot faster. Treyarch come in and just say, right, let's take that and make it better. You can slide forwards, you can slide backwards, left, right, you can dolphin dive out of a window probably on your head or on your backside or whatever. It opens up the playing field a lot, and it doesn't make CODs feel so restricted, which is what I think is great when it comes to Call of Duty, that you don't have movement that makes you feel restricted. Because if you were to compare Black Ops 6 to MW2, the difference is night and day. Whereas in MW2, the movement just felt really restrictive, and that you could go really slow and you couldn't really go that fast, and it made the maps feel really big when obviously they really weren't that big. Omni movement just improves it, and I hope the Omni movement continues to kind of develop in a way that you still get more creative freedom when it comes to how you move your character. It's almost like the jetpack era, but obviously boots on the ground. So for me, the movement and feels really good, and then the perks as well feel are really good. Pretty standard for Black Ops perks. So it's good that they're back. And the score streaks, even though I do have a slight gripe with the fact that the cost of the score streaks, at least for a UAV, is a bit ridiculous. 600 points. I mean, seriously, who came up with that shit? Whilst I don't really like that, the score streaks themselves are pretty solid, but that is pretty much the only good stuff when it does come to Black Ops 6. There is a lot of stuff about Black Ops 6 that is pretty shit. So now we're going to start talking about the issues or the problems I have with Black Ops 6 that make it bad. And oh boy, there's a lot of them. But nothing is as big as the main thing that has been plaguing COD for 5 years. And if you know what I'm talking about, something that we've been having to put up with since MW 2019, skill-based matchmaking, engagement-optimized matchmaking, the algorithm. Yeah, the algorithm makes this game fucking dreadful. And I mean fucking dreadful. 1 minute you could be having fun, the next minute you're not. Because the algorithm is designed to literally suck the fun out of this game if you are a decent player. So if you've got like a 1 KD or over, yeah, you're going to have a shit time. I'm sorry, but you are. Because if you literally play the game and you have like a really horrible KD, like a reverse boosted account, you're going to find your experience to be very different. Because with the way the algorithm works, if you're on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to KDs, like if you have less than a 0.89 KD or less than a 0.90 KD or whatever, your experience is going to be very different to those with an average KD of either 0.90 or 1.5 KD compared to a 2 KD. It is ridiculous. Like, if you want to see comparisons about, the different types of KD lobbies, just literally type in SBMM lobbies. They're everywhere. Now, I could sit here and bitch about how SBMM is bad for COD, but Activision are not going to change it. Let's be frank. They seem to think that it's this. Because, the data. They seem to think that their data would suggest that skill-based matchmaking is a fucking success. Yeah, bullshit. No, it is not. And not to mention the problems SBMM brings. Longer wait times when you're trying to find a lobby. Lag out of nowhere if you've got a really good connection. And of course, inconsistent hit detection and all that other good shit. And then you wonder why there is conspiracy theories going around about skill-based damage, which honestly, I would not be surprised if it is in the game. Now, I'm not going to delve into the whole skill-based damage thing because I really don't know if it's in the game or not, or whether it's to do with what brings into my next issue, which is literally how crap the servers are and a lot of the problems as a result of the bad servers. Because the servers in this game are really terrible. Like, the tick rate is literally 20 ticks per second. Which, if you don't know what a tick rate is, it's literally how often a server updates actions and counter-strikes within a game. Like, if it's a really low tick rate, then, yeah, there's not going to be much precision in the simulation, which is literally what COD is. When you compare that to other games, such as Counter-Strike, which have 64 ticks per second, which is a lot more common. So Activision are literally giving us dog shit servers. Like, that's how bad it is. which is why it's causing the lag issue. So whether you've got 100 latency, 200, even probably as far as 1,000 fucking latency, because the servers are so terrible. You know, heck, if you're playing in the game, if you're playing the game in Australia, your connection is absolutely terrible. Like, ask any Australian gamer, it sucks. I've had a few network issues in the past, even though I'm on very good, solid fiber internet. Like, I shouldn't be having any issues with lag. Which, granted, I've not had as much as other people, but it's still an issue. Like, you know, I'll just get packet loss out of nowhere sometimes, or really bad latency. Like, it is that bad. I mean, you couple that with SBMM, it really doesn't make for a good experience. But not only that, the bad servers have led to so much desync in the game, which many people have reported. And, you know, whether it's just the skill-based damage that's apparently a thing in the game, I don't know, but it's definitely the servers. And then inconsistent gunfights. The bad servers make the gunfights feel so inconsistent. One gunfight, you're melting them, and then the next minute, your hit detection's literally not doing fuck all. And you think, what the fuck is going on? And that's, you know, because I'm pretty sure the inconsistent gunfights is down to the bad servers, for the most part. I mean, yeah, it probably is down to sometimes bad gameplay as well, but still, inconsistent gunfights is a huge problem. And it is down to the servers, which are so fucking terrible. So Activision, instead of using the same servers that you have been using, probably since COD 4, get new servers. You're a £1 billion company, and yet somehow they can't even get upgraded servers. It is a fucking joke. And then you've got Recon Specialty. Legal wall hacks. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The perk or the specialty that literally allows you to see enemies through walls. Granted, it has been, like, nerfed with the Season 1 update, but that's not really good enough. It's still in the game. People still use it. It is overpowered. If it was up to me, I would get rid of the Recon specialty altogether, but get rid of the legal wall hacks. If you want to keep Recon specialty in the game, get rid of wall hacks. That's all you gotta do. Get rid of legal wall hacks. Because last time I checked, wall hacking is fucking cheating. And yet somehow Activision are like, oh yeah, let's just give everyone legal fucking wall hacks. Now I know some people are going to turn around and say, oh, but what about the Recon specialist from Black Ops 3 and 4? Yeah, well that was a bit different. You had to time it right, because otherwise, if you used it in the wrong place, it would have been wasted. It was never the case where you would literally get legal wall hacks every time you spawn in after you fucking die. It is a joke. So it needs to get rid. Because it is one of the most overpowered things in the game. Even with the nerf. Whether it's been taken down to, I don't even know how long it's been taken down to. Like maybe a second or a half a second. But it's still not good enough. Like, get rid of the wall hack part of Recon Specialty. And it'll make the game that little bit better. And of course, one of my other main gripes with this game, other than SPMM, is the maps. We gotta be honest, they're just terrible, like really, really fucking terrible. You know, they're either bad, like either Low Town, Protocol, or Red Card, or they're decent, like Derelict or Vorkuta, but don't exactly flow well. And then you have the maps that are actually okay, like Nuketown, which is honestly no surprise, a classic map. Then you have Subsonic, Skyline, and Payback. Like, they're probably the only few maps I actually like in the base multiplayer game. There's also the face-off maps, which I don't really care that much about, other than Stakeout and Warhead as well, which is sort of like a mix between face-off and standard 6v6 or whatever. But another thing, they will tell you that the maps are 3 lanes. They are not. They are lying to you. They are poorly designed. You know, maps like Red Card, one of the worst in the game. And then other maps like Derelict or Vorkuta, they may look like 3-lane maps, but they are really not. Because a normal 3-lane map would have 3 lanes and then like 3 or 4 intersections to sort of like crisscross in the middle. And that would be it. Derelict and Vorkuta, they do not. You got intersections bloody everywhere. Scud's another example. They are not 3-lane maps, so they are lying to you. I don't know what type of maps they are, but they are not your typical 3-lane map design that most people enjoy. They are not. There's way too many intersections, and the maps don't flow well. And the same can be said for the newer maps as well. You know, Extraction and Hideout, they don't flow well. Even though they're slightly better ish. They're not exactly brilliant. You know, the maps just are terrible. I mean, the fact that I only like 3 of the new maps in this game should tell you everything. Like, that's how bad the maps are. You know, I really do hope that the maps actually get better as, you know, the seasons go by, because if they don't, Black Ops 6 is done for. I'm sorry, but if the maps don't get better, you may as well just write off Black Ops 6 as a terrible game. I wouldn't exactly say that the maps are worse than the 2019 maps, because honestly, Modern Warfare's maps from 2019 are some of the worst. That they are better than Modern Warfare 2019. That's the only thing it's got going for it. But these are probably definitely some of the worst launch maps that I have seen in any COD game. That's bad. And not to mention, the map variety is so boring. It's either desert, day, or urban. I mean, come on. What happened to the nighttime maps? What about more snowy maps? Or maps with a bit of rain in them? Like, you know, where is that? You know, the fact that Volcuda is the only map that is somewhat varied with the fact that there's actually a snowy map is pretty depressing. You know, MW3 had more map variety than this, especially when you take into account you had maps like Incline and Tokyo and even Drive-Thru. It's pretty depressing. You know, Treyarch used to make pretty good maps. I don't know what's going on. Treyarch, sort yourselves out and actually give us far better maps than this, because we know that you can do better than that. Which I really hope to God that we get better maps, because otherwise, Black Ops 6, I'm really not sure how long the game is going to last before it just flops like a dodo. And lastly, Black Ops 6 currently has a massive problem with cheaters, which I'm not going to delve too much into, but because loads of other YouTubers have literally pointed out the massive problem with cheaters and reverse boosting, particularly when it comes to cheaters in League play. It is actually completely fucking ridiculous. And the fact that the anti-cheat does nothing to punish these people. You have so many blatant people who are cheating in this game, and the anti-cheat doesn't even permaban them or console ban them or anything like that. You know, these cheats are still getting away with it. And it's the same with these massive content creators who are literally 2-boxing and reverse boosting. They are getting away with it. Which, whilst is more of a state of the actual game, you know, Ricochet is fucking shit. It is more like anti-shit rather than anti-cheat. Like, seriously, it is a terrible anti-cheat system, not dealing with actual cheaters, and instead giving shadow bans to genuinely legit players. Granted, I've never been like that, and I don't think I'll ever be in a situation where I'll get shadow banned for being too good at the game, hopefully. But, you know, that is still a problem with the game, which I can't even begin to imagine that Activision will ever fix, because they really don't give a shit. As long as Warzone's working, as long as they've got their bundles coming in, and, you know, they don't give a shit. So, yeah, you know, the cheating problem, which is rampant across the game, and the fact the anti-cheat doesn't work is literally just another problem with this game. It's unbelievable. So, all in all, the question remains, should you buy Black Ops 6? If I'm going to be honest with you, no. Don't buy this game. If I am being truthfully honest, I would not recommend anyone spending any money buying Black Ops 6. With the way it is currently, with all the problems, with the heavy SBMM, with the rampant cheating problem, and the really shit anti-cheat, or Ricochet, or Ricochet, as I would like to call it, you know, it is not worth buying. If you have Game Pass on Xbox and PC, you know, go ahead, download it, because, you know, you're not losing any money on it. If anything, you'd probably just be wasting a couple of hours of your life if you don't like the game. You know, at least from the multiplayer standpoint. Because if you're going to be playing the campaign and zombies, you know, yeah, buy the game. You know, if you're a zombies person, you know, I can't imagine there's many complaints when it comes to zombies. So definitely buy the game if you're a zombies person. But if you're buying for the multiplayer, don't even bother. If you're on PlayStation, then I don't know what to tell you, sorry. But Xbox and PC, if you got Game Pass, definitely give it a go. You know, you're not losing anything other than, you know, wasting some storage space on your hard drive if you decide that you don't like the game. Because honestly, it is very subjective. But I personally would not recommend buying this game until the situation with multiplayer improves. You know, that's my honest opinion. You know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I right with my review? Am I not? You know, what do you think of the game so far? Is it one of the best games ever, or is it a complete pile of dog turd? You know, sound off down below. That's all from me, guys. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.